Certainly the best.
Hello and welcome to WIC, Women in Conversation. This is where women sit together to discuss things that are happening amongst us, especially the women. Do we talk about men? Yes, we do sometimes, when it is very, very necessary, especially when we're talking about marriage, talking about DNA and all that. But this is a room for women where we discuss, where we'll laugh, where we'll chit chat, as you might call it. Anyway, it's a new episode, new production, and I am saying Happy New Year to you viewers. It's been a while, so we say Happy New Year and thank God we made it to 2026. Anyways, like as usual, I don't do this alone. I have my pretty women, my guests, always here to analyze some of the topics that we'll be discussing today. And on my right, I have Princess Edith Madejemo, who is a household name. She is the CEO Golden Touch Collection. Edith.
Good morning, Happy New Year, and thanks for having me.
Happy New Year, and welcome as usual. And to my left, we have Ayo. The thing about Ayo, let me talk about Ayo before introducing her. I have been pursuing Ayo to join us on WIC because she has a lot to talk about. She has a lot to educate us on. But of course, Ayo is a very busy person. Thank God she made it through to us today. She is Ayo Ali Balogun. Ayo Ali Balogun is a management consultant. Ayo, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're so pretty. I told you behind the camera, I like your earrings, so I'm going to take it. Anyway, thank you for joining us again. And let's just go straight to today's discussion. Ladies, it's been a problem, mothers, especially these young mothers these days, they shy away from discussing the adult talks with their daughter. And so the question is, when is the right time to start the discussion with your daughter on adult talks? I know you understand what I mean when I say adult talks. Princess, let me start with
you. I'm actually on that table right now.
Wow.
And at times it gives me goosebumps when I'm talking about it. But what do we have to talk about it? As an intentional parent, you just have to be open to some extent. I don't think there is a perfect time for it, in as much as you watch your child or your girl child growing from 7 years, you can start at least educating her about herself. Then thereafter, from 10 years, I think you can start introducing some talk to her. Especially, I have this topic I introduced to myself and my daughter, mom and daughter night. We used to do it every Friday or Saturday night. At times, once or twice in a month, we do it. And that is the time we talk.
How old is your daughter, if I might ask?
She's almost 10. She's 9, going to 10. So we have mom and daughter nights, and at times, these nights are the nights we talk. At times, she would jot some things down about me that she want to tell me. Or about me, because I used to tell her, what do I do that you don't like? And we parents, we can be somehow at times. So, and she will put it down. She's looking forward to that mother and daughter night that she'll tell me, Mommy, you used to do this and I don't like it. It makes me sad. As those points that she pointed out to me that makes her sad, I have to look into it. At times give her excuse. Then that is the time I have to talk to her about this adult talk. It's never too late when you start from 8, because you don't know where they go. You can't be with them all through. They go to church, they go to children party, you may be there. They go to school, you may be there with them at that children party, but you won't be playing with them. Maybe you just sit at the corner where the parents sit, and they will mingle with their friends. They go to school. You don't know what the other parents are teaching their children. And some of these things come from school. Do you understand? So I would say from 8 years, because from 8 years, an 8-year-old girl child should understand what you are talking about. We're able to get the message. You understand? So I would say from 8 years, you start telling them their body, and how to associate with the opposite sex.
Okay. Thank you, Princess. Now, Princess had said from 8 years, but some mothers will tell you 8 years child, is a baby. I'm still, bathing for her and all that. I don't want to start talking to her about the adult talk at 8 years. Do you agree with her, or what exact time do you think is the right time for one to start discussing adult talk with the children? Let me remind you that some children, like you said, at 8 years are fully blown with everything. Everything. When I mean everything, I have seen a lot of them. So when do you think is the right time to start talking?
So personally, I think much earlier.
Earlier than 7?
Earlier than 7. And I must mention this. I don't know if you remember this lady, Auntie Jessica Obioma. She used to be there. And she told me many years ago and said, have you educated your daughter on her body and private? My daughter was 4 years at that time.
Wow.
I thought, strange. She said, no.
She's a child, because you still have some children wearing Pampers at 4.
Right. So I remember visiting her and she said, no, you tell her, here, if anybody touch you, no. Because abuse, someone who is looking for a prey would not leave children under 8. As long as a child begins to, the cognitive, develops and the child can assimilate, you understand, you begin to, in the language that the child would understand, you get. Even when they're playing, nobody touch you here, don't, like that. Break it beat by beat. You'd be surprised that by age 8, like you said, a lot of children, I know when I was much younger, a girl had started her monthly period at the age of 8.
Wow.
So you can imagine such a girl. Of course, she has womanly body and everything. Now, what do you think would happen if that child hadn't been well groomed?
Okay, that's it.
You understand? Now you also have some children are very adventurous. They're curious. There's so many things online today that they see and they want to explore. You see young children, I query a lot of the Nigerian movies where, they're very explicit when it comes to trying to describe adult scenes. And I think the Census Board should look into that. I think it's just too much for me. So I think the earlier, as soon as a child can recognize and assimilate, 8, 2, 3, nobody touch you here, okay? Anybody touch you there, you tell mommy. Because it starts a predator starts to groom a child. I say, if you tell your mommy, I'll beat you. If I tell your mommy, I kill you, I'll kill your mommy. You understand? So you want to start building the confidence of that child as early as possible. And I love what you do, Princess, with your daughter, the mother and daughter. I wish, I had
talk. Yeah.
The mom. Yes, I wish I knew that when my child was that age. But I think that's brilliant, and I'm going to propagate it. It's brilliant, and I love the fact that you are encouraging her to pen down her thoughts about your actions.
You. Yeah.
I remember once my daughter said to me, I was like, tell me, and she was like, no, I don't want to tell you, because if I tell you now, when you're angry, you will say it.
Oh shit! I know how you feel that. I know.
And it never left me. It never left me.
Okay, so let's come to that. What did you think you did wrong that made her to, get to that extent of saying, if I tell you this, the day you're angry, you bring it up to use it against me? Where did you go wrong in this?
So, with parenthood, nobody has a manual. So you
Definitely.
come up, and then life has a way of, forming you. And you, the kind of person you are, determines. So this is me, who is a go-getter. And then my daughter, at that time, was a very quiet introvert. You could hardly hear her. So, I become very exasperated. I told her.
Because you're not acting like me.
Like me.
Why are you this quiet?
And guess what?
Yes, firebrand now.
firebrand.
She was just forming. She was just yeah. She was
No,
forming.
well, that's language forming. No, I don't think she was forming. She was watching you.
Yeah, no. So
No,
when
that was
forming,
her forming stage. Her forming stage
molding,
in life.
molding,
Yes,
okay,
was
yeah.
molding.
Okay.
That's what I
Yes,
mean by
yes,
that.
okay.
See, it comes in. Sorry, darling.
Yes.
It comes in different way. Like your daughter said, if I tell you what you do now, if I tell you what's happening, you will use it against me.
Yes.
I just imagine how you feel. It has happened to me actually. My own was smacking. So like you did something, I'll smack you. So there was something happened in school and she didn't tell me. I get to know, I think the third day or the other day, and I queried her. She said, I said, you told me everything. Because I made it a point of duty that when I come to pick her, right from the car, we're already discussing.
How did the day go?
Even if I'm on call, once I drop that call, start telling me, start talking. Don't wait for me to ask you. We started it when she was a little. So start telling me what, the things I couldn't enjoy when I was growing. I want my daughter to enjoy it. I learned, I enroll in all these different platforms, just to learn how to be a better mother, a better parent. I do. So I ask, I say, once I drop my phone, anything you think you should tell me, start talking. Don't wait for me anymore to start asking you. So I got to know 3 days after, and I asked her, why didn't you tell me? She was mute. For some time, I was like, am I talking to you? She said, yes. Did you hear what I said? She said, yes. I said, why didn't you tell me? And she said, if I tell you, you will smack me. You know, that's just as you said, it got to my brain like, so this girl can keep secret from me because I will smack her.
So how did you correct that?
Oh, so whenever she tells me things that would have made me smack her, I will not smack her. I will just hold on and correct her. That part, you know, I would have beat you. But I don't want to beat you, so you can keep telling me.
Okay.
Are you getting me? So because of after that scenario, such a thing never happened.
Ayo, I have had a young lady who came to meet me and said to me, I like the relationship you have with your daughter. I have just one daughter. I have the relationship you have with your daughter, but I do not have that relationship with my daughter. My daughter was actually very grown up at the time she was talking to me about it, but her daughter was about 7 or 9, so she doesn't have that relationship that her daughter prefers to go talk to her dad. And then most times when her daughter wants to use her undies or, you know, zipper, she goes meet her dad. Daddy, do my zipper for me. Where do you think that mother went wrong for the daughter to have stayed away from her and rather talk with the father?
All right. So a lot of women, you know, query, oh, my children prefer the father, or that this.
I don't say anything wrong
I don't
about
say
it.
anything wrong with that. And I think, you know, the father also has a right to enjoy special bond
With the daughter.
with the daughter and with the son. So, you know, we can't tell, even as adults, we don't choose who to love
At
or
all.
who we fall in love with romantically. And now when it comes to bonding, you know, there's this special thing that it just happens. I don't think the mother went wrong, and I don't think she should beat herself over it. She should leverage on the father and daughter relationship to get, you know, her own space, which is, you know, complements that relationship, encourage the relationship, and the girl will begin to trust her enough to say, oh, mommy's chill with this, and bring her in. I want to have her as the third man in that relationship instead of trying to, you know, form her own and by breaking it. I don't think so. I think the father has a right to have a special bond with his daughter, and I don't think the mother went wrong. And she should just leverage on the special father and daughter relationship, which I love, you know, and promote it, encourage them, and they would naturally drag her along. I think.
Fantastic. They will naturally drag. I just hope she's listening, because she was very worried. She came and then she was complaining. My daughter doesn't have this bond you have with your daughter. But I built that bond with my daughter.
It's not a one-day thing.
It wasn't a one-day thing. Just like she said, I started this mother-daughter talk. I made her to know that she has to tell me everything. She's free to discuss anything with me. And then we became very close, you know. In fact, Don't worry. You
Up
see the
till
two of
now.
us, you think we're friends. Yeah, she's very grown now. Anyway, let's go on a short break. We will be right back to continue this discussion. It's WIC. Welcome back. It's WIC, Women in Conversation, and we're still here. I still have Edith in the house, and then Ayo Ali Balogun is still here. We were talking about the right time to discuss adult issues with your girl child. But anyway, everybody here has said their own how to handle it and how to go about it. I just hope you viewers out there listened and learned from these two women here. So we're going to be moving on, still on the girl child. Yes, a lot of people will say is a boy child not a child. The boy child is also molested. Okay, it's not just the girl child, but it is very common with the girl child. We have seen very recently where we see 11-year-old girls being pregnant. We see the pictures and videos everywhere, and it's beginning to become a thing of concern. So that is why I chose for us to discuss this today. A boy child is also very, very molested, just like a female child. But let's move on to the girl child. Still on the girl child, dating. When is the right time for a girl child to start dating?
Right. Sorry. So before I go into that, permit me, I'm also very passionate about the boy child. The boy child, any child, male or female, is vulnerable
Very, very.
and must be educated. You have, boys child sodomized by older caregivers or people around, or also explored to adults things by the older female caregiver.
True.
So it is important, whether you have a girl child or boy child, to educate them on how to keep their private. So back on track. now.
Thank you for that. So back on track. When do you think is the right time for a girl child to start dating? We are concentrating on the girl child today. We
Right.
could bring in the boy child later on, but for the girl child, when is the right time for a girl child to start dating? Romantically.
Romantically. Now, so when you say dating, I found that in recent times that, so I think our generation would say dating is, immediately you're kissing, you're going to bed and all of that. But apparently, when you say dating, it's just you're going out for drinks, you're going out for movies. Then from the dating stage, you have the talking stage, and then the define. So there are different stages according to the millennials and the Gen Z.
Yeah.
So now, for the girl child, any child, especially female, who is smart enough to get into the adult space, that is the university, is open
For dating.
to, it's open to and susceptible to things like that. Now, you can imagine a girl child. So this child goes to university at the age of 16 or 17. I think there was a law. I don't know if they reversed it now that the girl, you can't get into university in Nigeria until you're a certain age.
Yeah. That law just started last year, sometimes last
Two,
year.
3
yes.
years ago. 3 years ago.
Was it 2-3
Yes,
years ago?
I think yes, maybe to 2024 or early 2025. So, but if a girl child is old enough to get into university, smart enough to get into university, and finds a guy that she finds, to be honest, all of us at some point when we were in secondary school had crush on one person or the other.
Sure.
So but in the university, you can encourage, because most and from experience, I'll tell you that it's actually better for them to begin to have an open mind about having healthy relationship, not amorous relationship with opposite sex, not that early. So when we say dating, are we talking about just going on, my friend is visiting me and the works? Yeah, I think 8-16, as long as you're in the university, I'm cool with that. But even if you're in the secondary school and they do the dating, but they won't call it dating, they call it hangout. So we need to define clearly what we mean by dating.
And that is why I said dating romantically,
Right.
not the hangouts. It's not even hangouts. We hear children say, I'm going for a sleepover in my friend's house.
Oh.
Yes, a sleepover. So we're going to be touching the sleepover thing because I have a friend that has a particular issue about her daughter going for a sleepover. She also came to report that case to me. But let's go to you, Edith. Let's talk about the dating before we go to the sleepover.
To me, I won't say there's a particular age frame for dating. But like she rightly said, when a girl child is smart enough to be in the university, I think she's open for anything that comes to dating. Because in the university you have missed people, you have people, or you have people that you crush on, that crush on you, and I think at that stage you can express yourself, and another guy also is bold enough to express themselves, unlike when they were in the secondary school. At this stage they are very expressional, and you are open for that. Then you should prepare your child, your daughter, ahead of this stage. Although they should also prepare their mind ahead of it, that okay, now you, my daughter, you are going to the university. Mind you are going to come across Peter, you're going to come across some men that will admire you. Admiring you doesn't mean they want to take you to bed. You can associate, you can date anybody, but not the romantic part of it. You understand?
Yes.
Not going to bed. Then while dating, communication, like you said, stage by stage, communication, going out for lunch, for dinner, at times you party. It's an agreement. From the beginning of that dating, you spell out what you want. You understand? We want to just be friends. I love you and I like you. Let's be friends until I get to 20.
Don't you think that word love is heavy for just being friends? I mean,
No. It can't be heavy. You can love somebody and still respect that person's opinion.
No, but that's actually what love is. Love
Yeah.
is respect.
So I love you and I want to date you. You can accept to date the person. I'm not going to bed. I'm not romantically entangled.
And that's where...
Are you getting it? Then you can be there for each other. You can have lunch together. You can go to party together. And you can still remain clean. Until the time that appointed time that you said, okay, you can just reach an agreement like, I want to be 20. I want to get to 21. I want to do it when I'm a graduate.
Okay. We'll
you get
come
it?
to that. Yes. Let's
now,
go to you.
It brings us back to those adult education you've been giving your child.
Thank you.
So it's cumulative. Now you now see how successful you can measure your performance by how your girl child responds to all of this. Now she has a freedom. Has she all of a sudden forgotten all the education you have given her over the years? And that is where you also don't sit back or rest on your oars as a mother. You still go on, Let the girl child be open to, exploring.
But you know that in this Gen Z age, they are actually very different, okay? Back when they get to school, all the children are coming from different homes, different upbringings, different background. What you told your daughter is not what I probably would have told my daughter. Do you know there's some parents, there's some mothers who would say, if you meet a senator, that will spoil you. Go ahead to do that.
Oh, you have parents that can encourage their children to do all sorts.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I've
So how do you maintain that that's good upbringing, that's good conversation you have had with your daughter before going to the uni? How do you continue to maintain that so she doesn't get to be lured by a child coming from a different background?
Constant talking. I would say, like she said, you don't relax. Like you've done your part. The rest is left for her to decide. You still keep talking. Keep still talking, and once in a while, talk to her, call her. You can bump into her. I like to do that once in a while. Just go to school unannounced, and you know where your child is. Like all the teaching all along, she has to put them to practice. If you have been teaching her from the age of 9, 10, and now she's free. There are some children that are free. When they see freedom, it look as if you'll be caging them. They will just go awry. But there are some children, even when they have that freedom, they will still be able to maintain that, character that they brought from the house. Like, okay, this is what my mom said I shouldn't do. I shouldn't be found in this company. I shouldn't be found in this company. But mind you, evil communication corrupts good manners. It does happen. It does.
So
work.
that's what I'm
There are some
saying. How
kids,
do you
even
curb
when you
that?
even when you give them all the home training, all the training that you think you should give your child or your daughter, when they go out there, they do something else. Some children are actually two-faced. I'm sorry to say, some children are two-faced. They come home, they are very innocent.
Sorry.
They are very innocent. They are very decent. They are very calm and reserved. If you see them out there, if you have a picture of how your daughter behave out there, you will be able to.
Let's take it from Edith
contain
saying
it.
some children are two-faced. How do you identify a child that is two-faced?
So, you know, by and large, all of these things, the adult talks you have with your child, you know, it's not just the adult talk you have with your child. You have other talks too. What is your value as a woman? Are you able to communicate your value as a woman to your husband, to your daughter, to your son? What is the value as a family? These are the things that you have to build over time. This family should be known to be a family of peace and integrity, accountability. It's not a function of somebody knocks and, who is that? Tell them that I'm not in the house. Tell them I'm not in the house. It's the landlord has come to go in there. Your child
passing the
learn
message.
not just by what you say, but by what you do. So when they now have the freedom, because over the years you have exemplified true leadership, the type of leadership that you would want to see in your child. Parents get asked, would you want your child to act the way you have acted in certain situations?
Okay.
They
So-
keep mute.
Yeah.
Keep mute. So it bothers on values.
Okay.
They
We
said-
are going to be rounding off this episode. Just 1 minute, one word, not 1 minute, one word to mothers out there.
Train up a child in a way that he will grow. That when he grows, he will not depart from it.
Ayo.
As a mother and as a caregiver, love. And be free to express love. Let I love you not be a once in a while thing. You may not have the opportunity tomorrow to say I love you.
Wow. We've come to the end of this episode. Actually, Edith said train up a child properly. Let me, brief it there. And Ayo says love. Learn how to love and let the love not be a one-day thing. Continuously. That's what he wants there. Keep telling your daughter, I love you. Even your boy child, I love you at every minute. Anyway, it's been an amazing time out with these women. Thank you so much, Edith, for coming. And thank you, Ayo, for being here today. And it is a wrap here from us here on WIC. We'll see you next time.
RTV, certainly the best.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is Politics Today, reaching you live from Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria. What today is all about is happening politically speaking. You get to see some group of persons coming together to say they are supporting the candidacy of our beloved President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yes, they are across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. You get to see their handiwork. You get to see them in Edo, in Delta, and Nasarawa, Kano, Kogi. They're projecting just the name of one man. People have been asking questions about this. Is the love for our president so massive? Or they're being feared by their own insatiable greed, so to speak? Or better still, is it for the betterment of Nigerians? After all, the boys are off the street. They have something doing right now. They're occupied, so the man will not go into crime or criminality. All these and more. We'll take a look at today's installment of Politics Today. My far left, I have the voice of the masses. Oh yes, the common man. Join me to welcome Comrade Roy Oribabo. Roy, thank you so much for gracing us